we're doing it. I got standing people. All right. I'll try and tone it down. They're very concerned about me swearing. I'll try and keep PG-13. I get excited. Okay. Welcome everyone to How to Homebrew by TT2KB. That's us, tabletop to keyboard. And so, thank you. What is this? I've covered the first topic. We are not going to get into nuts and bolts or the weeds of how to homebrew a monster, how to homebrew a magic item, how to homebrew a spell. We have opinions on that, but that's essentially rules and math, which there is a lot of pre-existing structure to use online. So each to his own. I find that the hardest part for all of us is the story. And so we're here to talk to you about story, character work. This is homebrewing for a writer's perspective regarding plot content and character work. I think the top's most important. There are a lot of idiots like us that are like, listen to us. So here's the resume. We started in '95. We started in downstate Illinois, where at the time, due to dial-up modem noise internet, and deep-cut, esoteric, strange message boards, there was no resource. Your resource was, you get in a car, I hope to God you know a nerd that can guide you, and you drive maybe an hour to another town, and you go to this mythic...
No, it's like a store and they have like game stuff in the store.
What? Is that a Walden Books like in the mall? I'll date myself, yes. Children's, that thing doesn't exist anymore. So, walls don't exist anymore. True, they're all done. Also, I, Clint, Tim, Cam, we're all from a theater background to a degree in our little Podunk High School. So in short, we didn't have a lot of modules. We didn't know modules was a thing that's done, so we wrote all of our own stuff. And we thought that's normal. We're like, well, of course you do. And we did what all of y'all probably do. We derivatively stole stuff from pop culture, rebranded it, reskinned it, thought we were cool, or we did homage stuff like, I really want to be like Star-Lord. Can I be like Duke Quasar? Fine, there's nothing wrong with that, but that's how it started, just like I'm sure a lot of you. So let's go with our game philosophy, because here's where we'll start to differ with, I'm sure some of you in the room, and this is no offense to you. D&D began back in the day as a war game, a battle game, where it was meant to be about challenges and overcoming them. It's never been our philosophy. Our philosophy is very much the idea of a producer and a client. Somebody who's making something, somebody who's going to enjoy something. Game is for the players. It is not for the DM. DM, if you enjoy giving to them a good experience that they will then also enjoy, good, you agree with our philosophy. If you're on another side of that, then we won't quite see eye to eye. I'm happy to hash it out with you at another time and talk about the differences. But at the end of the day, games should be fun, it should challenge, but it shouldn't frustrate. And that's a very fine line to walk. If they're frustrated, they'll walk away. We all got better stuff to do with our time. And at the end of the day, the one thing D&D has on a video game is open world is only so open. And there's only so many options. D&D is actually a conversation. The options are limitless. If you frustrate them, make them walk away, you have not served your client well. And they're supposed to be your friends. You hurt your friends. Everybody should get something from each game. These are the key points we're going to cover today.
I really tried to make this less than 7.
It's hard. Feel free to shoot a shot at this. We'll end with this too. So, we'll begin with backstories. We're extremely backstory heavy. They aren't long, but we really focus on them. Why? I got a job. These gentlemen have jobs. Only one of us is truly close to an adventurer, and it's Clint, in that he joined the National Guard. He may get pulled away to go off on an adventure where he might die. So, the average Joe American citizen or Jane American is not going to risk their life. Not truly. Or if they do so, not knowingly. They're going to go about a way to find success and joy in a balanced thing. What have you just described in the D&D realm? The potion maker. We've just described the weaponsmith. We've described the NPCs you walk past and ignore because their life is boring to you. You take what you need from them and you move on and go on risking your life. So, at the end of the day, you ask your players when they start with their backstory, what's your character's goal? They should have one.
To adventure.
Okay, why?
Money.
Fine, that's a good goal. Money is a good goal. Highly motivating, good for a DM to use. Money's good. They can solve a mystery, something that plagues them, that bothers them, that they're not going to get answers where they are. Those two are a great place to start. They need to have a reason to get up and risk it all for something they cannot find where they are. When they're writing a backstory, your players should include, obviously what I said going this week, they should add NPCs of their own. They should add their own little flavor. This is the mayor of the town I'm from. He's corrupt, and I think that he's tied to the mafia, but I've never had proof. There should be a piece of the world. Let your players invent as many organizations. Let them invent gods. One of the greatest threads right now in Critical Role is it is unclear if Jester's religion is a cult or religion. And the fact that that is a gray area is highly entertaining because it's not set in stone. It's mysterious. Let them invent a god and get cleric powers. Why not? It's more fun. Let the world deny that their god is actually real and then let them cast healing spells anyway. What's going on? This shouldn't work. Exactly. Now we have mystery. This shouldn't work. That's why it's cool. So, in this way, you've opened the door that your own players have now become a DM in their own capacity. DMs, we'll spend forever writing our content, and at the end of the day, we'll think it's awesome and brilliant. Our baby is beautiful. Your baby might be ugly. You're not going to know your baby's ugly because it's your baby.
I built this thing's dwarven, culture, and it's like I've written like 5 pages of lore.
And the guy's like, yeah, I hate dwarves. You can jam that dwarven lore in him all you like, he's not going to like it anymore. So, let them contribute. Take their contribution and yes, and it. Alright? If they've added that the mayor of their town is tied to the mafia, and they've given a name of the mafia, 5 towns away in an unrelated location, let the name of that mafia be dropped. What? They're here too? How many of them are there? That's nice. Backstories. What's something I brought in that you didn't really know where it would go, and it became something more?
Take this one. So we did several years back now, a post-apocalyptic game where we all played monster races. And for myself, I played a Rulebook whose backstory was him and this bunch of tadpoles, basically in this very harsh environment, went through a battle royale, strongest will survive situation. And that's each of the roles, about a page or two when I gave it to Levi, and it came back multiple game sessions later that other versions of myself were coming to try and find me and kill me, and the battle royale was continuing when I thought it was over, and so that just curveball really threw me from where I started, because I thought it was a thing in the past, and now it's coming up.
It was time travel, and I didn't make rules that I followed, so.
Did you actually just say Battle Royale tadpoles?
Yeah.
Yeah, and their names were Rations and Centennial.
I was in the game, I don't remember tadpoles.
That was the name of the game.
Yeah.
So, next point, start global and personal. To set the stage, have something going on.
Nothing's going on. Everything's fine. It's a beautiful village you grew up in.
Then why'd you leave? Have a larger threat that's out there. A plague, a war, religious persecution, something that everybody knows about,
Coronavirus.
everybody has opinions on,
Coronavirus.
and yet those opinions vary and the truth is a little muddled. And yet, if we have a plague bearer purposely spreading a disease, and that's actually what you know the truth is, you have technically your first villain to play with. But while you're starting global, you can't leave it there. Because again, that comes back to it's your idea, DM. And as much as they enjoy your game, they don't really like your ideas, they like their ideas. They like their ideas to come back at them. They like the cool thing they wrote, their backstory to just come right back to them in a way that they didn't quite expect. They want to be fed, they want to be told what they want to hear. And you should do that. Just twist it a little bit, so it's a little bit off. They'll think you're a genius. And it's really not that hard. I am constantly going back to the backstories and pulling details or making stuff up or elaborating on things they already wrote. Just so it can surprise them and be like, no way, my aunt is the cult leader? Not Aunt Jenny. So nice. So, game 2, game 3. Let game 1 then figure out if they like each other or not.
Aren't they friends?
I know it's so dumb. We've been playing together for like 2 decades, and then they always slept going the first game like,
No. Did you hear who's gonna play? I don't think my kids would like that guy.
you guys know each other for 20 years. How can we not figure this out? Seriously? I don't even listen to that fight anymore when they're like,
I don't think I'm gonna like Pan's character.
so it's like, I hate Pan's character. Like, you're gonna be fine. And by the way, Pan's character's super cool right now. So, game 2, game 3, threads need to start showing up. The fact that Pan's origins are maybe magical in nature, maybe his memories aren't real. The first thread or hint of that should show up. The fact that Balrog's part of a pirate order, and there should be at least another pirate that he knows of that shows up next game. Boom. You didn't introduce piracy in your campaign, but he did, so now it's there, and it should be important. What's something where a personal thread wove into something larger down the way, and you didn't quite see that coming?
Yeah, so this was the last, I think it was the last
campaign
of our game. My character he was related to royalty, he didn't want to be in royalty, and so he kind of started his own mercenary group.
And it did shit, ninja
He
tricks.
was a ninja, he had so many tricks.
Ninja tricks are done.
DM hated all the ninja tricks. But there was this rival of mine that had basically started almost a mirror group. And so there's this other group out there, and they're getting all this notoriety, and that's kind of like the small personal area. But then we find out through a course of 20-some, 30-some, however many games that we played, that the reason they were getting all this like notoriety and they were so popular is because they basically had their hands in the pot of this like false religion that was basically running this global, I think it was a plague spreading type of, or like curse spreading.
The grandmother of the rival
Right.
was the Pope, basically.
Yeah, basically, yeah, the Pope of this.
But she was a fake Pope.
She was a fake. And so, again, it was this little thing where it was this guy I'd known my whole life, it was just my rival, that was always the jerk that always messed with me. It turned out to be this global story. And so it was important to my character, not just, well, I guess we have to be the ones to save the world. It was like, no, that guy, I know that guy. No way, that guy's not gonna do it. So
Yeah,
like, it's kind
they
of.
didn't care about
brings
the
it back in.
global, like they didn't care about the religious conspiracy. They just didn't want Blaine to win.
Yes, exactly
That was it. That's all you needed. They hated Blaine. I'm like, great. Blaine's gonna stick around. Yeah, it's true. They brought a whole bunch. Oh my God, I can't stand on this long enough. Heroes are stupid.
Amen.
Heroes is really best said by Mr. Incredible in the first movie. He feels like a maid. All he does is go out, clean stuff up, go home, and wait for somebody else to mess it up again. He just explained that his job is useless. He literally has to wait for tragedy to occur to have a job. Okay? Villains act. Villains are like, there's something wrong with the world and I know how to make it better, and damn the odds, I will. Good for you, buddy. Go out there and change it for the better, quotations. So, I really suggest Magic 3, Pokemon, Magic 3. Why 3? 1's not enough. 2 starts to feel like a dyad. 2 starts to feel like maybe they're opposed, maybe they're friends, and that's fun. Then chuck in a random 3rd that is a 3rd party, a John Wick that shows up to just like catch you off guard. All right? It's a nice balance because with 3, you're not really sure who's on whose side, and the truth is, none of them are. And then they don't know who's bad, and I'm very infamous in the group with them not knowing if the villain's bad. Or if a friend might be, they never trust any NPC I throw out. And the nicer the NPC, the more likely they're like, we need to set him on fire and sleep. You see that? He bought Clint a muffin yesterday. When was the last time an NPC bought us a muffin? Never? Fire. You should absolutely have 2 of these villains be directly tied to the backstory. Find holes in their backstory, something that should be there but isn't. Like if they've left something like, I'm tied to Julian Rothberg is the character that Cam played. Julian Rothberg was part of a house structure like Game of Thrones in a wealthy city that was rather peaceful. Well, he only talked about his house. There's probably others. And in the end, I ended up making 5. I didn't really make a bunch of NPCs, I just made 5 houses. And I picked like a couple random names, and they were diametrically opposed. And then, here's the irony, he made a political character, he decided he didn't really like politics that much, and he started adventuring as a ninja. So that content got chucked in the garbage, because that's how it goes. He would rather be a ninja, so we started ninjaing all the time, and he was very happy with being a ninja. Yeah, well, except ninja chicks are stupid. Villains or heroes, what was a villain you enjoyed killing? And why? You gotta make them hate him. What was a villain that felt personal?
I think what we just did with the Pirate Bay was an interesting because we hated him until we got there. And then all of a sudden it was like, wow, we kill this guy. I've got a feeling he's got kids. Yeah, like, I still in his kids' rooms, look at the pictures on the wall of Daddy out and shit. We're like, oh, I don't know if we can kill this guy. This is getting a little deep. Maybe we need to let me pull out the dragon.
Clint had no problem killing that guy.
Yeah, in short, the villain in question was a known slaver for like 30 games. He'd capture people, ship them off somewhere, put them in a mine. They knew he was a slaver. There was no doubt about it. They freed 2 slave colonies of slaves that he put there. And then they get to his house and see kids drawings, so like, I don't know, guys. I don't know. Did you read the children's titles on the storybooks on the shelf? That was like, the pony needs a ride.
I gotta kill this guy.
They killed him.
Clint killed him.
They killed him, like, hard. It was ridiculous. Oh, hi. This may not happen to you. Hi, DMs. I always roll 1s. They love it. It's great. It's like I'm all the stormtroopers that can't hit anything. The force is actively working against me.
Preach.
Clint rolled 4 crits in a row last night. I wish I was joking. He did it with my own time. Stupid dice betrayed me. We touched on this briefly, relatable reality. There's certain things you just can't comprehend. A tidal wave is coming to the coastline, it's going to destroy it. How many people actually see this in real life? If you see it on video, it doesn't really mean anything. That detached reality doesn't mean anything. You can look at as many pictures of the Grand Canyon as you want, and it's like, meh, you stand in front of it, it's like, oh. It's amazing, but it only looks amazing in person. A tidal wave coming at you is not terrifying unless you are there and you personally have actually had the experience of some sort of nautical mishap. And I don't want that to have happened to you, player. So I can throw as many world-ending things as possible, but at the end of the day, 50 starships crashing together mid-space doesn't really mean anything to me, but watching my friend get shot is terrifying. personal that your friends may have experienced to some degree has greater reach than brand and fake. So, to that end, if they love something, put it in the game, and if they fear something, you better put that in the game. I have 2 players that you come around the corner and you see a small raccoon that appears to be hurt. As you approach, you see its sides pop, bulb, as if pushing through latex, stretching, and then spear-like forms, insectile and hair pop out. There's 1, there's 3, there's 4, there's 8. This thing starts plopping itself up onto its back, stomach up, what? No. And then mandibles pour out of the head. I've described something that is, but I haven't officially called it, and I won't, a spider. But because I'm close to Spiderville, these 2 hate this thing. Hate it. Kill it with fire. I'm close to. I don't even have to say spider. Don't even say the thing. Just get close to it.
Because it's a raccoon, and raccoons in the future also get burned immediately. You cannot take no more chances from this one on with raccoons, period.
What's something that showed up in game that hit you? We honestly just touched on it. I know. Me, Dustin, Clint, we got kids, we got lives. I knew getting into Peg's house, finding out he had a secret family hidden from the world that were held hostage the entire time, years of being held hostage, I knew it would hurt. I knew it'd make him go like, we can't kill him. I'm like, yeah, what are you gonna do? He's put thousands in chains, he's killed kids, what are you gonna do? I like throwing it at him and just watching what happens, because that's your story. You don't have to know the solution. You just have to throw a problem at him and let the solution be organic. It's better that way. It feels like it was always meant to be that way. When you yes and what they decide to do, like, yeah, that's great, guys. I expect it to go that way. No, I didn't. I had no idea I was gonna go. But if you yes and what they decided to do, that becomes the story. And then they didn't fail, they didn't succeed. It's just the story. So what was something that worked out or you loved?
Yeah,
it was too close.
Yeah, absolutely. So I have a fear of Alzheimer's, and in the last campaign we played in, we ended up in a situation where we went to the Shadowlands, so it's like the afterlife. And we did dispatch villains left, right, and center throughout the entire campaign, and we come across one of said villains. But he's completely disheveled, he's confused, he doesn't know what's going on. He is losing his mind slowly, deteriorating. And he's pathetic. And it haunted me for like weeks after this game session. I still think about that. So this whole game session, I'm like, oh man, I forgot about this, man. It's weird. And that's exactly what you're talking about. Stuff would be so long.
I didn't even know he was afraid of Alzheimer's. I can't wait to do that again. Watch your friends. Learn about them. Learn about their lives. Sneak stuff into the game. This is simple. It's not that hard. If they love action movies, spend a little bit more time describing how kick-ass that guy's action move is. You kick him. No. You don't kick him. You twist your hips, you form up, you line up your spine, and you go in for a sharp roundhouse, driving your heel into his jaw, and you hear as the jawbone starts to grind against the upper mandible. And then he'll be sitting there going like, yeah, does he bleed? Blood shoots out of his mouth. He's like, yeah, I see any blood. You do 2 damage. It doesn't matter about the damage. They want to hear how awesome it was. The dice might hurt them, but you can make them have a good time. If they hate dolls, well, now the villain uses dolls as a form of taunting. Why? Because it's messed up. That's all you need to know. Dog lover. Somebody's missing a dog. There isn't a dog was saved. Watch them avoid saving the village just so they can get the 1 dog side quest back. Yeah, but is Scruff's okay? This is the hard part. This is a big gray area, and this is some skill building, this is some time, this is some investment of your free time, DM, and I'm not gonna lie, this for me is now a constant practice. I spend all my time partially living in my own game world, working out little things, not giant novels, little things. If you build a path, if you build a road, it'll become a railroad. It'll just become a railroad. They'll be stuck on it, and they can't feel they can leave. Don't do that. Build a world that they can live inside of. And the hardest part, and I think this is a key one, is working out for yourself a chain of why. I'm an art teacher, and I work this out the exact same way for inspiration for my art kids and their sketchbooks. And sketchbooks is a really good metaphor for this idea. I'll work one out right now. Who wants to do this with me? Okay, Timmy's gonna do this with me. Let me see. What do I want to go? Villain? I want to go place. What am I making?
Yeah, let's go with Bill.
Let's go to villain. Okay. It is a group of thuggish brutes that have rabbit masks, and they carry around a giant cart pulled by many oxen.
Why?
Okay. They wear a rabbit mask because all of them once worked under this brutish thug. At the same time, he had this odd softer side. He kept a small series of rabbits. It's one thing that actually made him feel good about this life. And then he was destroyed by a barbarian tribe, so they decided to take an image of cute and loveliness and turn it to something that could be feared, to twist it, to make it dark, and to make them hurt for hurting their leader.
Why?
Because what's actually inside the chain, the wagon, is the thing that they desperately need to protect, the corpse of their leader that they're hoping to someday resurrect at all costs. Okay, so keep working out a chain of why. If you can work out a chain of why for anything in your world, then most importantly, you can fake it in the moment and it makes sense. Okay? So if you can work out a chain of why for all things, then your sandbox builds itself for you. So just kind of know who things are. I am not saying write a page for each character. Don't do that. I said barbarians. I said a rabbit. Why would that be weird? I don't know. Rabbits, their death sigil or whatever. Okay, there's got to be a reason for that. So I live off why. And I think sideways as much as I can. It is hard to build that, it is, but practice it as much as you possibly can. You don't need all the answers. You just need enough answers so they think there's way more answers than there actually are. The illusion of your world's detail is far more important than the truth. I have characters that to this day, well, you take this. This was fun last night we broke it down. You riff. Who's got something that they thought was awesome?
Yeah, the thing I always think about is that, I don't know if you remember saying this to me, but he said it to me once that, maybe he was lying too, there's more things in the world that he has thought about than we have ever seen. So there's more things that we have not seen than we have seen. So it's just like, the world exists, and then we get to affect it. We can change it, we can do all those things, but the world is out there, and you know, Tommy the farmer is still farming, whether we ever talk to Tommy the farmer or not.
He's growing in Vegas right now.
It's always out there. But if we ever get there and we ever meet Tommy, like on the spot, he's ready to pick. He's like, who's Tommy? Why does he farm? Does he have a problem, or is he
His
just
dad's got
this?
one leg.
See?
He doesn't want to be on the farm. He really wants to go out to the high seas and be a fisherman.
Yeah, so and again,
Canon.
it's just, yeah. It's in the books forever. And we remember, that's the thing, we'll remember stuff like that too. So he takes extensive notes. We always catch him writing things down, we just make stuff up on the spot.
Tell last night.
Which one? Which one?
They went to my version of the guest. Yeah.
Oh, yes.
You got it.
Go for it. Yeah.
Somebody else tell. I talked about
So we were trying to figure out, because we were suddenly kind of teleported in this area. So my guy being the pirate, sorry, so my guy being the pirate's like, well, I want to look at the stars so we can navigate our way through here. Which stars am I looking at? The northern and southern hemispheres. That's kind of the problem I already had. And he was like, both. Huh? So then I just start rattling one. So in curriculum hour, my pirate's like, all right, well, the possum and the chicken and there's a rabbit over there. Those aren't supposed to be in the sky at the same time. And then Jeff added in.
Oh, that was the Baron's tepid saucer?
Yeah. And then the kind of her king is over the.
They're making up constellations. I need to now write them down. They're inventing canon. I was like, what was that?
And then when we saw them start writing, we just started adding in more.
You're so mean.
I just explained this whole story about what all those constellations are. This thing like 2 minutes later.
And now there's 6 constellations that are canonically, they've always been there. Because of course they were. The sandbox, this kind of bounces off the sandbox. I don't suggest planning 2, 3 games ahead. If you do that, you are saying destiny is controlling the wheel. You are becoming a plot structure of a video game. You're becoming the thing that they're setting aside their time to not do. So, only plan next game. Look, just the next one. Look at what they just did. Look at your sandbox. Plan out only next game. You'll know their goals. You can, of course, know the global stuff that's happening while the war would have progressed. But don't say, oh, the assassin's going to find them on the 5th game. What if they change countries at that point? The assassin teleports now. Oh, come on. So, next game only. If you do next game only, the game will always feel fresh. It will always feel like they're actually living it, affecting it. Like they really feel like they have agency, and agency is everything. DMs, the game was never for you. How dare you? It's for them. DMs, your job is to work really, really hard so they can beat you with their dice rolls, so you can bleed in the street, so you can fail and lose, and they can high five and loot your corpse. And then you go home going, I'm glad I had a good time. And that's what you signed on for. But if they keep coming back, that's the compliment. It means you did something right. I also hate puzzles. Clint, talk about puzzles. We'll talk about puzzles. Enemies are going to be defeated a certain way. Puzzles are going to be defeated a certain way. Clint, go.
Levi, very early years,
17 years old.
made a puzzle that was a room with a mirror. And anytime you walked up to the mirror, your presence would push against you. But the mirror wasn't actually there. And he said, figure out how to get out. So I walked away from the table. I said, I don't like puzzles, I'm done. And I went home. And hours later, they still had not figured out the puzzle because it only had one way to win.
Write the challenge. Do not write one solution. Write 5, write 6. Just say, let them be creative and see what happens. I've literally written that note. And then when they're like, hey, we solved it, I'm like, yeah, you did, guys. It was awesome. Good job. They're like, how many ways did that solve it? Like, you guys found the one. Now they feel genius. They're like, we're so smart. Guys, you feel smart. We were obsessed. And now they're happy. My best friend drove off and he left my game because my puzzle was mean. Fail. Bad DM. If you're DM, you're even bigger than a god inside the world. Of course you can make a puzzle that can't be defeated. Of course you, the DM, can make a stone even you, the DM, cannot lift. You can create an impossible situation. Why are you patting yourself on the back for being so smart, you douche? Thanos is like, I'm the best. We're like, shut up, shield to the face. So, we've covered this. Oh my God, this is huge. You're gonna forget, write your notes. The next day while it's still fresh, maybe organize them. That's the new thing I do. Like Sundays are
Really think we should just watch our episodes.
I do that now. Twitch is great. If you record or Twitch stream, you just get to watch it. You don't gotta write anything down. It's a dangerous habit. Now your organization takes 4 hours because you have to watch the whole stream again. Oddly, we're burning through this super fast. Here's where we're at the end. These are just hard. I wish they weren't. Naming straight up sucks.
Yes.
Who wants to start? You should take the Wild West. We did a Wild West game.
So we did a Wild West game. There was he was like a cattle rancher.
Cattle baron.
He was a cattle baron, and clearly was made up on the spot. I think. I don't know. Maybe he didn't. Oh, okay.
He wasn't.
Dude, he wasn't. So he was like, "You hate this guy." I don't know. And
He
so
was the BBEG. He was the big bad evil guy.
big bad evil guy, and he was. Okay, I'm gonna name him Don. Okay, his last name. We're gonna name him Henrik. And
Yeah, Don Hendricks. Good Western
Good
name.
Western name. But me and the other guy who's not here with us today, and pretty much everybody else, immediately hear Don Henley from the Eagles, and we're all seeing the Boys of Summer like at the table, and they're just hanging his head. Like he knows
All of you.
he will never be Don Henley.
It would be
He will always
it's
be
like,
Don
well, Mr. Hendrick needs to talk to you, and they're like, I can see you, my love for you. I'm like, stop it. In one stupid choice of having a name where I didn't foresee a potential pop culture reference. That's a tough one, by the way. Good luck with that. I still have a hard time navigating it. I've now been reduced to a song, and no matter what, he will never be scary. He'll just be stupid, douchey, and Boys of Summer. That's what he's gonna be. We had one from a module one time.
So I was running an Exalted game, and I was using a module Handbook, and there's an NPC, and he has a name, as most NPCs would.
He was a mummy, Egyptian name.
No, he was a dragon.
Dragon, very important. So I look at his name and I go, guys, how do you say this?
Knowing what we would say.
Oh, yeah. Hikaru. Huh?
Turned immediately
Is
into.
that fuckaroo? I don't care how scary he is, he will never be scary again. Oh, look out, guys, here he comes. I steal names. I'm a teacher, so I steal students' last names as first names. I steal coworkers' names. I steal place names that are out of this circle of friends, so they might not run into it. I steal. I will flip pages through a random a credits page of authors that contribute to a book, and I'll use that. Back in the day, amongst the bloat of D20 books, Gary Gygax actually put out a book of naming, really good. If you haven't used fantasy name generators, it's a great place to start. That website, it gets updated constantly. I don't always use the direct name because you do sense a little bit of a generated algorithm thing happening. It is a great place to start if you're just trying to come up with anything at all to break your mind of a pattern or a habit. I like names to be punchy and short, easy to remember. I've got 2 demon devil characters I've used now for multiple campaigns because they don't die. Candletooth, why not? It's weird, it sticks in your brain. Candletooth, easy, done. Don't overthink it. Simple punches, that's good. I really hate it when a DM presents you with a 5-syllable elven name. Oh man, stop it. I'm just gonna call her Leaf Girl. I'm gonna call her pointy-eared Shiri or whatever her name is. No! It's gonna get short and you might as well make it short. Are you running out of time because you don't have anything ready? It's time to fight. Why are we fighting? Oh no, a dragon! We play about every other week or like twice a month if we can swing it. So really, I rarely do random encounters. I really try and have all the encounters feel like it's important. It's not going to be a waste of our time because our time is limited. We've got families and jobs now. We're all old. So because of that, I really don't do random encounters. But if I really run out of time, there might be a fight. Fight coming. Murder hobos. Good luck. They're just hard to deal with. I think we all can use advice about murder hobos. here's what luckily, these gentlemen, we've been playing long enough that we all have a disdain for them. Ironically, the last campaign was Murder Hobo. I was him. So, go figure. I really just suggest baiting them with loot and then letting that be a trap, and or make sure that the body count they're racking up has definite consequences. Have they made a mafia boss mad? Have they made a political authority mad? And then basically just clone the murder hobo's stats. Reskin it as a slightly different class. Up it by 5 levels. And then have it come after the party as a hired mercenary to take down that murder hobo for what he did. And now he might have a rival. Now he might have something he wants to loot off that guy. And even better, if you get the party to turn on the murder hobo for causing this conflict, have your villain back off a little bit. Maybe he'll learn a lesson. Now you've got somebody hounding the party. Maybe they'll work together with the murder hobo to take him down, and you've created teamwork. It's tough to teamwork with the murder hobo, but who knows? Stranger things have occurred. Thank God for Stranger Things. We all have jobs. Thank God for Stranger Things. Doing dumb voices are never done. My commute, dumb voices. My daily work commute. I want to do what you're gonna do. No, I don't like to use that one before. What you want to do this week? And I'll just talk to myself like an idiot. Like an idiot, just write down which dumb names, switch them up. Too many of my characters are kind of pseudo-British. I had to write in an entire region that didn't sound British and sound American, so I stopped doing it. And we've recently used number 5 a lot, and I'm a fan of it. I hate party composition as a rule.
We need a healer.
You don't. You don't need a healer. You don't. Party composition is stupid, and here's why it's stupid. It makes them feel like they have to pick a certain role. What?
I want to be a fighter. Dustin's being a fighter. We can be a fighter.
You can both be fighters. You can all be clerics. Party of bards. Rock the nation. Metal tour D20. If you want to be a bard, we'll do a bard campaign. I'm not going to stop that. I hate bard. We'll never go that way. I'll take one level and then take all fighter. Cool bard. No, you're not. So we started adding an NPC buddy. We had a supers game where they had a base and they got sick of day-to-day management. Boom, a butler showed up. Jeeves, we literally called him Jeeves. And Jeeves would just answer. He didn't have God knowledge. He wasn't me. He was one of them, but he would sort of redirect open questions, but also sort of reminding them of the timeline. Excuse me, sir, you do have that meet and greet tomorrow. And they're like, oh, right, the meet and greet. Right. Thanks, Jeeves. Get us some coffee. Of course. I put a cleric NPC in the party. He chills in the background. They don't use him. He's there if they want to bring him on board. He always scales to their level. He generally focuses on healing. He brings them tea on occasion. I keep bringing you guys beverages. Dibbin mostly brings tea now. That's all he does. But he's a healer. If they need something, put it in the party. Just do one. You only really need one, and the one thing they're going to be missing in party comp is probably always a cleric. So chuck in a healer, call it a day. They're friendly. When they seem to be getting caught up on things, they're so distracted. Like, yeah, but this shiny rock is really shiny. Like, guys, it's getting really late. Aren't we supposed to be at the village by tomorrow? And they're like, oh, right, the village. Shut up, Dibbin. Sorry. Now the DM has reminded them, as an idiot disposable character that they bully. They'll love it. They'll love it. They get to tell it what to do, and it helps them. Like a pet. And then I love the last one. You got somebody being terrible, don't kill them. that gives them a chance to make another character that's also terrible. They'll just make another one.
I'm gonna make his brother. He hates everybody that just hurt him, and I'm gonna get them all back.
No. Steal his stuff. Why do you steal his stuff? He'll be super motivated to get it back. Make that stuff so hard to get back that he has to work with the party to convince them to help him go after his stuff. Maybe make the villain that stole the stuff is the one that contracted the theft in the first place, knowing it would bait them into the plot that the guy's been avoiding the entire time. Because the villain knows these murder hobos are dangerous, and I know they've been contracted. For some reason they've been avoiding me, but I can't let this loose end sit out there. I'm gonna create a murder ball over here, and I'm gonna have the loot dropped off in that spot. They'll have to go there because they're dumb. Now, the NPC villain they've been avoiding because they don't care about the plot. You stole my sword? What? You're gonna die, clown. Yeah, but I'm like, Tim, didn't he like also like burn down a village? Yeah, but he stole my sword. Because that's NPC thinking. And I love insanity. But there's no rules for insanity. I know. That's why you can just make it up. You're like, so what happens over here? Like, oh, you see smoke over there, there's fire. Really? Is that like all our stuff? Yeah, it's burning. No! Goes running, you got like, guys, he's just hitting on the cart.
What's he doing?
Hitting the cart.
That's crazy.
He's like, but you said there's fire. Dude, there is, it's burning! Stick to a theme with the insanity so maybe they can solve it. Because your punishment just can't just be a punishment. It's also got to be plot. It's also got to be something that can somehow resolve or get past. Punishment for the sake of punishment's sake is you being Thanos again, and that dude died for a lot of good reasons. So don't just be God and hurt them. Hurt them to make a point, and then let that be plot somehow. He sees fire because he has repressed memories of something catching fire when he was a child that the villain is actually responsible for. And oh my God, you killed my grandpa. I never knew. I know. A vision in the flames, right? Yes. So, always try and reweave. We are at our conclusion already, so now we can just talk about stuff. Anything you guys want to talk about? I talk too much. But feel free to take the mic, whatever you guys want to bring up.
Yeah, sure. We were talking earlier about how you structure things to kind of create that illusion of more game there. And one of the big things I think really helps with that is paying attention to what the players are doing. So if the players suddenly get interested in a random NPC, that becomes a really important NPC. Go flesh them out. Figure out what they're about. If you read a plot that is super intricate and nobody bites your hook, guess what plot just ended?
Oh, I just remembered a good one.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm taking over the mic. Okay, you did this, Cam.
Me, I did it. Sorry.
Do you remember you're in a small village, a little girl ran up to you?
I remember.
What did you do?
I was like, it's gotta be a trick for that's the eventual idea I came to.
Not that little girl. It was the one you were nice to.
Oh.
This is a while back, so it's okay. I am legitimately talking about a game that was easily 12 to 15 years ago.
The best little girl that I've met.
Cam was a mage. He met a little. No, this was Altius.
Okay.
He was a agent ranger, whips, bows, knives, very badass, flippies, lots of other stuff. And he gave a little girl like a bow or a knife, a small weapon.
Yes, that's right.
Okay? And it was a random little girl in the village to sort of inspire her to go off and do great things. Okay? It's a very long time ago. And then that's all she wrote. Next campaign.
Yeah.
Clint is playing a character that is half dead. He's like partially a ghost and partially alive and doesn't understand. We made it up. I make everything up. I didn't do this last night. And he was half dead, and part of the mystery is he didn't know who his parents were. His mom was that little girl. I just wrote it in. And suddenly they're like, what?
She was a super awesome like huntress.
She
Like,
became a badass mage that went off and then got embroiled in her own adventures. She totally followed suit with the ancient heroes of the time. Oh, one of the things I am most proud of in games, and I'm sorry to toot my own horn on this, we have kept the same world. All the retired characters are still in it. And now the retired characters are super awesome, powerful people that have gone off and done whatever they wanted to do. And then they became my characters, and I just try and honor it. So let's go down the line. Let's go down the line with the ones you guys remember and then what I did and what you liked. So Alexander was like,
Alexander.
what would you start off with and what do you became?
Well, he was literally the first character I played in this world, which was 2000.
We're old, I get it. Let's go.
2001.
They don't care how old.
20 years ago, 20 years ago. Anyway, and he was a sorcerer, started at level 1. You know, he's just a guy that was an orphan that had a grandfather figure that helped him learn about magic. That was kind of the whole thing.
Lots of fire.
Lots of fire, there's a lot of fire. And, you know, tons of adventures through all this time. I think we took him all the way to level 20 over a number of years. And then once he's retired, now he's basically started what Levi describes as basically like the Hogwarts of this area. So he's like the head of the biggest like magic
And
I guess,
now,
like in the whole world.
and now a boss in that world, a powerful figure,
Yes.
is Cam.
Yeah. Yeah.
So they all flip out on their old
So now we
character
can hear
show.
that. Yeah.
Clint, go through this.
I made an incarnate construct back in 3.5 because when I got the book, he looked really cool.
And also because Clint has the Clint card and I give him things I don't give the rest of them.
Basically, yes. So I played him as the Tin Man. He was creative, so he didn't have a heart. He was trying to learn, trying to get a family. And so we played him also all the way to level 20. And when I retired my character, Levi said, "What does he do?" And I said, "I think he wants a family." So Gollum went, that was his name, Gollum, because he's a Gollum, very original. Gollum went and found other incarnate constructs and formed a village and made his own little family of incarnate constructs. And that was how the story was supposed to end.
And now he actively does that at face value, but then also on the sly smuggles them away from magic users so he can keep them in storage till he can awaken them to free them from what he perceives as slavery. And he runs like a haven where wizards are not welcome. Like they are treated poorly when they visit. Like, get out of here! You're here to steal our body parts for spells. You're awful.
Which reminds me, my next character that met him was a wizard. So I was hated by my own character.
Timmy.
In my first game that I played with everybody, it's the same thing as Alexander and Dom. I played a rogue Pathfinder. And so I decided at the end of the game that he would go on, he had like a big kill list and everything he wanted to get back and revenge on. I spent a long time like, oh yeah, he's like half neutral. And then one day we got this and he's like, no, Tim, he's neutral evil. And I realized as a thief later, I got so excited, oh, I'm gonna find out what he does later with his like guild and stuff like that. And we never do because he's usually a really good thief. And so I only ever hear about things he's done after the current campaign we're doing. And then I turns out, like, oh yeah, you ran into him, he was in disguise, and you guys just never figured it out. It kills me.
Yeah, one of the things that happened right away that Tim's ears perked up at, right, is in these 2 campaigns later, they found out that there was an underworld organization that was simply called Shade. And Shade was, in a way, kind of like how Moriarty presents in the Sherlock. They're a contracted organization that helps you commit crimes and get away with it. And that's all Shade was. He's like, hold on, the whole thing is called Shade? And I'm like, well, yeah, because why wouldn't he name it after himself? And so yeah, they end up like being 5 feet from him and not knowing it was him. And that he was so mad. Oh,
Hi, I'm Dustin, and all my characters are dead.
Dustin's all about Blaze of Glory, and God bless him.
That's a fact. So like my last character we really got into, Leon, he was the brother of the noble over there, sort of half brother, yeah. So he was a bastard kid. He always wanted to get in. He always wanted to be noble that this guy didn't want to be. He was always trying to get involved, never make it. And at the end, you actually allowed him to go out there and kind of restore the old glory of a wasted nation. And so I went around, got all my archaeological sites and restored them.
Also, a big thing I did towards the end. It was left really up there. He has no idea who his father is. So, it just so happens that Ogle's character was playing an old retired soldier, and then I got a rumor set where suddenly he started to realize a timeline, and it couldn't have worked out better. They both knew and suspected that they were father and son, but they weren't sure. And these kinds of moments I'm about to tell you about make games fantastic. He had some stupid, ridiculous paladin spell that made him have angel wings and fly, and it was stupid. I hated that thing. However,
Pathfinder rules.
Pathfinder. So, middle of the giant chateau, the place is falling apart, it's full of monsters. He falls into a pit, he's dying in the bottom of the pit. He flies in an angel form, picks him up, and the first thing Lucian said is, as he's picking his bloody form on the ground, he's like,
I think you're my dad.
carrying him out in light of God healing his son. And it's like, you can't write that, it's amazing. So yeah, we made him father and son, and then we did it where he is destined to find the next, sort of like Buddha, but a Catholic Buddha, so to speak. So he's destined to find the next Buddha, but not be him. So that's what he went off and did. If you got questions, let's answer questions. Yes?
How long do you think, many campaigns, how long do you stretch one campaign for?
It used to be, I was very speed level. Each game was a level. And so we got maybe 23, 24 games. And honestly, it's because I was stuck on the idea, they've gotta have their cool powers. They've gotta have their cool powers. If you don't get the cool powers, they're gonna be mad. And we've dialed it back since. We now pace it out to maybe 3-4 games. We don't use XP. We don't use XP. XP makes it an economy, and they're chasing it down and boiling ant hills and murdering house cats. So we don't even use it. We say like every 4 levels, every 4 games, they'll level. You know, and keep it easy that way. And sort of I do it with just dividing out how long I want the campaign to be. I'm at about 2 games a month. I'd like to go to 100 games because I feel like that's the gold standard these days. If you do that, it feels big. Feels like a trilogy of books, feels massive. So now we're slower. And I like slower. Slower feels great. Game used to feel like a D&D for us used to feel like a Marvel comic. Like, yeah, explosions, Titan, now it's more like conversational. The big moments come, but the anticipation of the big moment makes it better.
It helps that we're playing online now.
Yeah.
Because for a lot of these early campaigns that would run like 3 years, it'd be 30 games that we were playing at once.
Yeah.
We were trying to drive 3 hours to all be together and learn to play.
You're doing a lot.
So now we play online over Roll20, and we stream our game, we're able to play like twice a month, and so we get more game sessions.
Yeah.
But the actual story itself may still feed off the same thing.
Yeah. Who else wants to? Yeah, right here.
How do you balance intrigue, but not being too precious about the information of the characters?
I am painfully cryptic. They don't like it. Basically, if I drop a thread and I sense they're hungry, I'll give them a little bit of it, but not the whole answer. I'll make the information giver suspect of having their own agenda, or they only have part of the information. I don't like it that I don't like the economy of players feeling like a DM. If they just talk to the right NPC, they get all the answers. The world doesn't work that way. I also like it better when the information is always from the writer's perspective. That makes it great, because they don't know which source is right. That's fun. Skew it whenever you can. So they gotta compare notes. It forces them to work together and do homework, kind of, which is really nice. Basically, if after 2, 3, 4 games, I feel like the thread that should have played out better, I'll kind of give in and throw them a bone, and suddenly an information giver will have a lot more information.
How do the players feel about
They hate it. I actually like the cryptic part. It doesn't bother me. I go with it. It drives them nuts.
It's not so much.
This
the
one
strategy.
hates it the most.
Between him and Clint, because they're like the anti-puzzle people.
They hate it. Those two hate this the biggest.
I'm the action movie guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. If I talk to Clint about explosions and blood spatter, he's on board. It's all he needs. Yeah.
So I've got a group of guys who've been playing video games together for 20 years.
Awesome.
And we've always talked about doing D&D, so
You're ready.
we're gonna do it.
Do it.
The problem is that we didn't play D&D for 20 years, and so I created a game.
Great.
And they liked it, it was fun. I was really bad at it. And so, at what point, is there a point where you say, you know what, this world that I've created just doesn't work, and we need to do something else? Or is there always a way to rein things in?
Of course. We got 10 minutes. Okay. Alternate reality. Boom. Multiverse. Boom. Time travel. Dream world. You can hit a reset button a lot of ways. There's a lot of things you can do to that aspect. And also, if you feel the game is bad in your gut, it is. It is. Your gut is more intuitive than your mind. My art students have the same problem. I'm like, if you're trying to second guess what you think you should do, you already know what's wrong. You just feel guilty or weird, or you're trying to work through it. Trust your gut, it's correct. And if something feels good in your gut, it's great. Run with that. And play to your strengths. You don't have to be everybody's DM. Play what you're strong at. Just make sure they're enjoying the game. And ask them, they'll tell you. They don't want to waste their time, especially their friends. They'll tell you what's wrong. These guys always tell me what's wrong. Like, always.
We've done it as players too. Like we did 2 campaigns ago, I think it was. We actually, as players, decided we were resetting because for whatever reason, we all decided we were going to play characters that were not necessarily bad, but definitely weren't good.
So they were all
but some very like selfish opportunists, and like we all kind of as a group realized it wasn't working.
Oh.
And so at a certain point,
I
like,
want to talk about, tell them why it didn't work. Tell them what happened.
situation happened.
Tell us what happened.
And we all went separate ways, and we just said, we'll just make new characters.
Dwarves are attacking. Dwarves are attacking. Dwarves the enemy.
Epic massive battle. Part of the team decides, instead of fighting the massive battle, we're gonna go kill the NPC that's your friend in the back corner, while the 2 of us are in front.
We're rogues.
Hey, oh my god,
That's what you do.
dwarves everywhere! And I recently introduced a critical hit table.
It's the best.
I hate these things, by the way.
It's the
And
best.
this is why. Because
It's a critical failure too.
I fumble on this thing,
Yeah.
and I rolled a 1 in 100 chance of getting this result, in which I crit myself and the guy standing next to me. Times 4 crit modifier. Instantly killed myself and almost downed him.
He hammer swung through his own head into his friend. It was beautiful. And suddenly,
We don't really like that guy. It's just something that.
and the other three are like,
We're like, we get out of here. We're invisible.
we quit. That party was done. If we tried to force them to a party together, they wouldn't. What's the point? So the one that survived, the old man who was a paladin,
The only time I said
was the one that continued on the next campaign with a new crop of characters. Second campaign worked great.
Yeah, and to kind of go on to that question though. One of the things that's going to happen is when you start off, you're going to be a bad DM. I was. I mean, we were all bad
Yeah, I
DMs.
suck.
These stories are horrible.
Oh, terrible.
Hey, I'll really throw myself on the bus. I famously, this is a character they all used to love. I stole Apu from The Simpsons because I could do the voice. I know, racist. And Apu is in my game as a magic shop owner.
Do the voice.
No. Because I saw the documentary by Harry Condobolo, and I'm not going to do it. And so, at the end of the day, Apu's dead now, but like I thought that was genius. Just ripping off a pop culture guy and putting him in. I was 15.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Make
It's okay.
mistakes. That's the biggest thing you can do. Like the way you're gonna learn is make mistakes and learn from them. So like get feedback, spend time with your players, and figure out what's working, what's not working. And you know, you get a couple games under your belt, your players are gonna give you a chance. And if they aren't, find different players. You know.
We'll try to squeeze in a few more questions if we can. Who's got one? Yes.
How do you solve the issue of if my players are not curious enough about something? Or like they'll just get to a point where they're just kind of standing there and not really like what's the best way to be like, here's some stuff happening.
Let him pet the cat. Let time progress. You pet the cat for a day. Okay, let him stand there for a day or two. And then in game, start to weave in anything that interests them and try and take whatever they've been interested in and they will talk about it. They'll give you some cues of like, yeah, that one thing was cool. Make that one thing. Try and find any tangential way to connect it to what you plan. Just to loop them back in if you can. It's okay. They never know what's behind the screen. Remember, they don't know anything behind the screen about 5 minutes. I'll try to answer your question better later.
So, I'm one of the rare ones amongst the group up here that I actually run some games at the game shop with complete strangers.
Yeah.
And let me tell you a little something about playing with complete strangers. You don't have 20 years worth of playing with these people to know what they like or don't like. And so you can get a bit of what I call wallflowering. They don't really go after anything because they're used to modules. They're used to big box text coming out of the DMs now telling them exactly where they're going to go next and what they're looking for. And so sometimes you have to employ a little bit of that to get them going.
NPC Buddy works well.
NPC Buddy works well for that as well. But sometimes you have to give them a little what they're used to get them playing, to get them started. It takes a player 3 to 4 games sometimes to kind of figure out who the character is, if they're role players at all. Sometimes they're not. So, so usually I start every one of my campaigns that I run with, especially if I'm running with complete strangers and people I've played with for a long time. I start with about 3 games worth of material. Maybe I'll take you like 1. I start with about 3. I give 3 good sessions to let them figure themselves out, and then by then, they kind of have a direction where they're going, and they're usually a little less wallflowery at that point. Once they get a feel for it with the DM, vice versa, they start to open up a bit, and they start
40 sessions.
God bless you for fighting. Yeah.
Yeah, how do you balance drawing or preparing and Roll20 maps that your players are inevitably going to avoid and relying entirely on theater of mind?
I'm not great to answer your question on that one because honestly, I'm an art teacher, so in my prep period sometimes or at home, I'll sit on Photoshop and I'll craft a map that I know I might never use.
So you just have a catalog of maps.
Yeah, I just sit on a catalog of maps. Draw them in Photoshop, turn them sideways, cut them in half, flip them. New map!
We gotta talk a little bit about our last live session prior to last night. So Levi, because he is an artist, he creates extravagant things when we do get together.
They're not that extravagant, they're very nice.
He cut an entire landscape for this peg house and all this other stuff out of cardboard, constructed it all multi-layers, gridded. The whole thing was amazing. We played for 12 hours and never found it. It's sitting in his garage, and I saw part of it because I went to get a drink. And so we come back and we're talking in one of our breaks, like, guys, he built something and we haven't found it.
And my wife's like, why haven't you guys found it yet? You spent hours on that.
Tell us where to go. We don't know where we're going.
I ended up taking a photo of that, converting Photoshop into a Roll20 map, which also took time. And they went there anyway eventually. Oh, we got one more question. Prince Benjamin.
So what I'm saying, they just make the absolute most boneheaded decision possible.
And we do.
TTK is inevitable, and you just really didn't want it to end there.
You said hi to a hill giant.
Oh no, it wasn't a hill giant. It was like an ancient storm giant that I turned into a hill giant after figuring that there was no other way to keep you guys alive.
It's okay. I have pulled back. I have pulled back in a fight. If I don't want the story to be over, why should it have to be? The dice aren't God. You are. So if you don't want the story to be over, it's not. Suddenly, the villain's hurting a little bit more and actually gets scared. suddenly the villain's like,
Your mother's name is Martha too?
Storm Giant's a hill giant. What if they decide, like, I've got this taken care of? What if he doesn't feel like killing him? What if he feels like throw him in a cage? What if they're so overconfident they imprison them, walk away, and then now they've got to do a bust out of a cage game where they have time to actually heal up because the hill giant's too stupid to do a long rest. Magically fixes everything. Modern medicine. Yes.
Thank you guys so very much.
Stay next to the gorgeous girls of gaming, I believe is correct. Yes. So thank you very much.